Welcome back to Marin County Sales Stats, where we skip the drama and talk about what is actually happening with Marin County real estate. If Marin County homes for sale feel confusing right now and you're not sure whether buyers or sellers have leverage, you're in the right place. Let's break down what actually happened. So let's get to it. February Marin home sales. Before we go to the charts, I want to break down how homes actually sold this month. 121 homes sold across Marin County. Here's how those sales shook out. 57 homes sold below list price, averaging about 10% below. 12 homes sold right around list price. 51 homes sold above list price, averaging about 5% above. And one important note, 3 of those sales were what I call whales, homes that sold for over $6.2 million. When you have a few very high-end sales a month, they push the average price up and make the market look stronger than what most buyers and sellers are actually experiencing. Now let's go to the charts. Okay, so first up here, we're going to look at inventory. That would be the light green bars here, and you can see that inventory has gone up from last month. Not surprising. We're getting into that hot spring time. I have also added here, the red line is homes that are pended, because those can be an indication of what's going to happen next month. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty strong indication. So for example, it was here in January, it's now up to here in February, so good chance we'll see these dark green bars, which are the homes sold, increase next month. You can see that new listings are down, so we'll see how much effect that has on the overall inventory. The numbers are all down here. For sale homes for the month were up over 16%. New listings were down more than 32%. There were 40% homes sold from January more to February. That's not unusual because things are picking up. And there were almost 50% homes pended. Again, not unusual. Looking at the more relevant quarterly numbers compared to last year at this quarter, the for sale homes are down almost 13%. New listings are down more than 36%, and sold homes are up almost 6%, and the pended homes are also up almost 19%. So this is looking pretty strong for sellers. Okay, and now we're on to days on market. So you can see that days on market, let me get a pen, have decreased from January to February. Again, we're seeing that buying is heating up, so that's not surprising that it has decreased. How much? Well, it's down 27%. However, if you compare it to this time last year, it's up 8.3%, and that's the whole quarterly number. So that's a bit interesting. Then there's also this number here on this chart, which is the sales price over the original list price. I always like to think of it as an indicator of how well sellers are pricing their home originally, because obviously that's what it is. Anyway, that went up over the month, so closer to a parity of 100%. So that suggests that sellers are pricing their homes better than they were the prior month at a rate of about just over 4% better. And here we are with the prices. Let me get a pen. As you can see, the median prices went up from this blue bar to this one. That is a representative of 3.6%. And that's significant because there were some whales this month. And while that might make the average price look a lot higher, it doesn't do too much to the median price usually. But when you compare that to the full quarter numbers, that quarter is down almost 4%. So weaker than last year. Regarding the average price, that was up 2%. Now that might be a little off because of those whales. That's the red line here. And when you compare the full quarterly numbers, it's up a little more than 4%. So we're getting some mixed messages there. Let's look at price per square foot. Here's price per square foot, January, and it's a bit higher in February. The actual number was $805 a square foot up to $811 a square foot, up 0.7%. And when you look at the full quarterly numbers, it was still up 0.5%. Again, pretty normal for this time of the year. You can look back at January, February last year, and there was a much more significant jump. So buyers are getting more for their money this year between the 2 months than they did last year between the 2 months. What Marin stats tell us? Here's what's actually happening in Marin County real estate. The short answer is this: leverage depends on preparation. This is not a market where you can price aspirationally and expect the market to bail you out. It's also not a market where buyers can throw out low offers across the board and expect success. The data shows a clean divide. If you're buying in Marin County right now, your opportunity shows up in the homes that linger. Almost half of the market negotiated downward. That means strategy and timing matter. If you're selling, the homes that sold above list did not get there by accident. They were dialed in, positioned correctly. They created competition. So is Marin a buyer's market or a seller's market? Well, right now, it's still conditionally seller leaning. Sellers who prepare property are rewarded. Sellers who test the market get negotiated down. Buyers who recognize value early compete. Buyers who wait for weakness can still find leverage. That's a nuanced market, and nuance is where most headlines fall apart. By the way, I'm Carrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor, 30-year Marin resident, and the person who can provide backup if you're buying or selling in Marin. And if you want my free monthly closed sales newsletter with exactly which homes closed in Marin and how much they sold above or below list, information you won't find anywhere else, the link is in the description. Next week, I'll be breaking down how single-family homes compare to this overall Marin County picture, so you can see whether houses are driving the leverage shift more aggressively than condos. If you're exploring homes for sale in Marin or thinking about selling, you should be seeing some additional video recommendations above me, and subscribe so you don't miss these monthly no-fluff Marin real estate updates. Thank you for watching and have a great day.